Welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, proudly sponsored by Super Resin. This week's special guest is former professional boxer Matt Sen, a man whose life has been shaped by both hardship and resilience. In this episode, Matt opens up about growing up in poverty, seeing the good even in tough times, rebuilding his life and finding his discipline through boxing. Matt's story is one of struggle, fight and survival. Thanks for listening and watching this episode.
Sometimes I think, was I even liked? Never mind loved. We all write our own book. None of us are in control of how that book starts, but we are in control of when we start picking up the pen and start rewriting our chapters. What better way to retire than at Wembley? There ain't never going to be Wembley again.
Well, it's the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, and this week's special guest is Matt Sen. Really looking forward to sharing the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. How are we?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Good. Thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate that.
Now, listen, Matt. I seen you on another podcast on Spin Justice and stuff, and I like the look of what you're about. But I'd seen you on social media and stuff, and I found you very interesting, and your stories are very, very interesting, Mum.
Thank you.
Very powerful. I think a lot of people will relate to it, and this is why we have real people on with real stories, because people relate to it, and your story is very relatable. You know, it's not a boxing story. It's a story about life survival and the fight that happens outside the ring, from the back streets of Wolverhampton to the bright lights of Wembley Arena. So let's get right into it. So where you from, where you grew up, family life and school life was like?
Well, from Wolverhampton, Park Village originally, and it's wild because one thing I say in my book is that we all write a book, we all write our own book, you, me, everybody else. None of us are in control of how that book starts, but we are in control of when we start picking up the pen and start rewriting our chapters. So I talk about how and where my life started, as you just alluded to now. It started in Wolverhampton, Park Village. Back in the, I guess, late 80s, early 90s, it wasn't a really nice place. Gang heavy, prostitution heavy, lots of drugs, lots of issues, lots of problems. But we were living in poverty. Now, I know poverty sounds this big scary word that people throw around, like, oh my God, we had no money. But if you live next door to me, and we were both living on this poverty estate, you'd be broke as well. So we wouldn't know we're broke, we just are.
You don't know as a kid though as well, do you? You sort of, at that, you know what I mean? You don't know what that's about really, do you?
Do you know what's crazy, right? I do a lot of public speaking. I go and speak to young people and do lots of different talks and whatnot. But I mentioned to some of these kids that we used to have to knock next door for a loaf of bread or a bit of milk or an egg.
Sugar or something.
Yeah, right. They didn't get it, didn't understand it whatsoever. And I said, but there was rules. Like, you couldn't go 3 doors up, you're taking the piss now. But do you know what I mean? Like, I'll go next door but one. Don't go 3 doors up because now you're taking the piss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And the kids were just lost. It was like, what? Who does that? Who knocks the door for a loaf of bread? Who knocks the door for a bit of margarine or whatever? But
because kids nowadays can just go on and order a fucking, a shop to their house or whatever, or they can order food to be delivered, can't they?
Isn't it just different? Isn't it different?
That's what I'm saying, like, you know, the 80s, growing up in the 80s, and like you say, early 90s and stuff, I remember going and knocking at the neighbours for bread, or for milk, sugar, juice, do you know what I mean?
Everything. What's yours is mine, and we'll share in it, because that's what it was like.
But that's what I'm saying, when you got that type of, when you grow up on a council estate or whatever, and I always say this, because a lot of our guests are just really, real people, good, honest people who grew up on a council estate, they've not been given, not been given it, and the stories are probably similar to ours, where there was a good community spirit, everyone looked out for one another.
Yeah, that's right.
But like you say, you'd always have a couple of people on the estate where, like you're saying, there was a lot like prostitution, or there was like gangs, there was I think that goes on in most parts of the UK. Let's be honest, and where you just as a kid you don't really understand it. I don't think you realise what's going on because you're too young to. But as you get a little bit older, you start understanding. I think
so. I think you're right there. And you know what? I generally believe for children under the age of 16, there's 3 areas of their life. I generally believe this. And let me know your thoughts on this, actually. So I believe that there's home life, right? I believe that there's school life, and I believe there's life in the community. Outside of that, there's nothing else. There's no work-life balance. There's probably no girlfriends or like a relationship life or anything like that. There's certainly no work life yet or anything like that. So you've only got those 3 areas. So when I look at kids and I look at helping kids or delivering these talks to kids, I look at thinking, can we help them in one of those 3 areas? Because if that's your world built up of 3 areas, we've got to look at where those issues are within those. Now, growing up, my issues started at home. I wasn't. So the best way I could describe it is my bond with I had no dad was around. Dad wasn't around.
Single
Mom, yeah. So it's a crazy story that is how that become, because I've got 6 siblings, white siblings, with the same mum, same dad. My mum decided to, whether it was an affair or another relationship with the black man, it wasn't done in the 80s, was it? And it just wasn't a thing, right? So what I'm told is that she was sort of cast away from her family, taken out of the will, all of that kind of stuff. What the truth of that is and what the ins and outs are, I generally don't know. I never will know, because I've never met that side of the family other than my siblings. So, you know, I'm told that she was cast away and sort of put into Wolverhampton, gone to Wolverhampton City Council, and they've put her in this shithole, right? And that's where I grew up, right? So Mum created almost like she seemed like she had a resentment towards black people, almost like she blamed black people for her losses, rather than she's the one who opened the legs to do the problem, you know? And I don't mean that to disrespect my mother, because I never will do, but it's kind of like my mother doesn't take responsibility. She's a victim. She's a victim to everything. Doesn't take responsibility for her actions. It's somebody else. You've done this to me. It's not me, right? So just bear that in mind while I explain this story. So we grow up in this poor area. Dad's not around. Only Mum's around. My relationship with my mum wasn't great. My mum had, the way I can describe my mother's love was love with conditions. It wasn't unconditional. If I met her conditions, she would give me her love. If I didn't meet her conditions, she'd take it away and I'd be a stranger, right? So it was real difficult then growing up. I wasn't, and I think I said this in our last podcast, sometimes I think, was I even liked? Never mind loved. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, because you know what, Matt? We've had a couple of guests on who've said exactly the same, like pretty much similar circumstances where, you know, if you don't do what, you'll be loved if you do what we sort of, but if you don't, I can't remember the guest who it was, and they went in depth about it, and they said like exactly what you said. I don't even think I was, never mind loved, I don't even think I was liked.
Yeah.
And to be a child and to get that feeling from your mother, or that's what that, when you're a parent, you it's unconditional. Your kids, you do anything for them.
Absolutely.
But for you, from an early age, did you see it from the off? Did you?
No, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. So as I got older, and I've had counselling, I've done all these different bits and bobs. It was kind of explained to me that it was almost explained like Stockholm Syndrome, where I was mistreated so bad, I craved, I will convince you, I'll make you love me, don't worry. Yeah. I'll do whatever you need me to do and I'll make you love me, I'll make you like me, I'll make it, you know. And I just remember being real over the top to try and do things, and friends would be like, what? Like, and not really understanding. But then you break it down, oh look, it's my mum, I love my mum, and you know.
Yeah.
It's mad, because the way you grow up is that you'll do anything for your parents, you know, because they're your kings and queens, aren't they? They should be the people that you look up to. And in my world, in my circle at home, it wasn't like that. Brothers and sisters weren't around, because once they were old enough to leave, they've got their own personal individual problems with mum, and that's for them to own. I won't discuss that, but they've got their own things on, and none of them speak to my mother, right? So once they were old enough to leave, they left. So growing up, from being young, my next brother up.
Was you the youngest, Matt?
I'm the youngest, yeah. So my next brother up, he was at home, but when he was old enough to leave, he left, right? But growing up, he was the only man I had around the house. He was the only person who actually liked me. Because I didn't really have a lot to do with my other siblings. Like, whether I wasn't allowed or whether I didn't see them or they popped around sporadically. But now I half understand why. And I get it because I've got a great relationship with my siblings now. I love them to death. And I've got a great relationship with them now. And now being of age, I understand. But, and I'll get to that in a minute, but going back to my brother, when he left, right, he felt like there's no one else at home now. No one who likes me, no one who genuinely loves me, no one's going to care for me. I'm kind of like, shit, what do I do now? I've got no one to look up to. Well, the next area outside of your home is your community. I end up in the community now, looking at people like an older brother. You know what I mean? And
you want that what's name from people, aren't you? Where you normally get it from your mum or your dad or whatever. So the people in the community who are probably up to no good or whatever, straight away, you aim for them because you're not getting the, the loving or whatever. People say you can be groomed or whatever, but it's, where you go like that, where you can be like, you take you under the wing and then, go and drop that off at John's or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's as an example. I'm not saying that was your story, but I think a lot of kids on the estate where our mum, like a lot of people in the 80s and stuff like that, a lot of people I know, parents were like, some of the parents who I knew, not everyone, but I'm just saying people where I grew up and stuff, the parents were alcoholics or they were drug addicts or stuff like that. So it's for you, you fend them for yourself.
yeah.
And it's fucking tough. It's very hard, you know what I mean? And you learn life very quick.
Well, you think it's normal, and I generally thought it was normal, right? And things happen throughout growing up, and you start questioning things. And I remember, just as stupid as it sounds, I spoke about this on the podcast, and I always mention it because this was my realisation where I thought, hang on, things ain't the way they should be. Do you know? I had a sleepover at my friend's house. Do you know, just...
As you do, as a kid.
Kids, yeah, sleepover. Slept over at my pal's house, right? And I wake up in the morning, his family put breakfast on the table. I'm like, fucking hell, yo, you guys are rich, man. Now, there was nothing on there, but it was just like toasts and jams and cereal. We never had...
We fucking never
Yeah,
know.
we never had nothing like that. So I'm seeing all this and I'm like, shit, man, yo, you guys are rich, man. Look how you guys live, you do this every day. You ain't doing it for me, you're doing it every day. This is mad. And it's mad, I was dead excited about that, and that's wicked. And then before we left for school, because it was on a school night, he's gone, all right, just have a great day at school, I love ya. And I'm looking at him saying, what, I love ya? Fucking gay. Why is a bloke telling you he fucking loves you, mate? We're walking to school and I'm taking a piss. And he's like, but dude, yeah, just a bloke's my dad. My dad's saying I love you. Like, don't your parents tell you they love you? Come on, then. You know when it drops and you just think,
yeah,
shit, that don't happen. Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
it's the penny drops and you think, wow.
Yeah.
And something so simple. I always say to my kids, love you.
Yeah. 100%.
I always say it all the time. Because you genuinely mean it, you know what I mean? And then, but like when you're saying there, when you really, I can sort of relate a little bit to what you're saying because, as you grow up and stuff like that, and there's little things that you remember as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's that getting up of it. Like even getting up having breakfast. Fucking, I was up out the door. Fucking, I had a shirt that had been ironed with a rock. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, you know what I mean? Going to school like a tramp's ass. So, like, shoes and stuff, like, a pair of Nike I wish they were on with holes in the front. But then going home or going to your friend's house and, you have a shower, you have, like, you have breakfast, they say, the mum and dad, have a great day at school, love you. And they come home, they have tea around the table. What did you do today? Dead interested in what you're doing. Fucking never been, similar to you know what I mean? And
fries your head though, doesn't it? Because you think, Uncle, what the fuck? Why? Like, why don't I get that? And yeah, man. But it wasn't until I was like a teenager that I started noticing that. But what's funny is that when I speak to, I'm really, really lucky. I am such a lucky man, right? Because the friends that I had in nursery and primary school are still my friends today, right? So I'm so grateful for them, right?
Yeah.
But when I shared my story with them, they was like, shit, well, we knew things that weren't great, but we didn't know there was like that bad. And I was like, nah, because you hide things, don't you? But then when you speak to their parents or you speak to, I remember speaking to my parents' sister and he was saying, one thing I used to always notice about Matt is Matt was always in shorts and a vest. Rain, sun, shine. He was in shorts and a vest. I ain't gonna be in shorts. I don't like the fucking cold, so I ain't gonna be in shorts and a vest. But the reason I'm in shorts and a vest because I ain't got no other clothes. So I'm thinking,
They were the only clothes that you had on.
yeah. So that's mad, isn't it? Like they notice these things. If that was today, it wouldn't have been.
It gets picked up a lot quicker, wouldn't it?
Do you see what I mean?
It's like similar, Matt Sen. Do you know what? And this is we haven't prepped this or nothing, but we only spoke about 20 minutes, half an hour ago when you arrived and stuff. And what you're saying to me, this is genuinely like, it's like I can sort of see myself, what I do in my life with you, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what makes me, what's the name is like now as we get older, is like when you see your mates, because my mates knew my situation, and this isn't a stop story about me or whatever, but it's just so relatable that we get that your story is like a bit like.
Well, this is the importance of this, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes, people talking about what's going on, because I think as men, we are drilled just to do some push-ups, go for a run or something, man. You'll be
Front
all right. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's important that actually we do open our mouth and we do talk and we do say there is a problem, I need some help, and we talk about it, we get it off, because I'm telling you, there's power in that.
There's so many people who are like out there in poverty and stuff, what we're talking about, and when you have mates and that, like you say, my mates knew, you know what I mean, but they never took the piss out of me or nothing. They were mates, and the parents knew and all that and stuff. And when you go round to their house, I had manners and stuff like that. Thank you, and I had moral. I knew how to, to treat my elders and have respect and all that, and they knew my situation. Do you know what I mean? And I was just like, but as I've got to where I'm at now in life, like, and I see them, they always go, Tony, I'm so proud of you and stuff like that. And I go, and I don't take, I get embarrassed when I get a compliment or something. I don't know what it is. I just go, and I'm like, because you've got to go through life where it's just like, if you sit there and feel sorry for yourself, you get left behind. And I was just like, I don't want this life where what it was like. So didn't want to give my kids that type of life. Do you know what I mean? As you get older and as a parent. But from there, Matt, you're saying you were like teenage years on the streets of Wolverhampton and all that. Is that when life started getting a bit?
Well, kinda. So the story's mad, because remember me telling you about my siblings. I used to really see my siblings. So Mum would put on a great show, right? So if they did come round or we had guests, she put on a show. Food would be in the fridge, just everyone's having teas and coffees and that kind of stuff. And she's lovely to me, and everything's great. And I'm like, wow, this is nice. We should visit more, because you're putting on a show, making it almost believable, like
everything's all good.
So I think that then built a little bit of resentment towards with my brothers and my sisters, because they'd been through so much themselves individually. They've all had their individual issues with my mother. So I guess for them it was a bit like, well, why is she treating you like this when none of us were ever treated like that? Created a bit of resentment where I didn't really have a lot to do with them. Now, whether that was orchestrated, whether she planned to do that, or I don't know. You just don't know. Which is crazy, because when I speak to my siblings now, when we have these open conversations, it's like, I always thought everything was like great at home, and I'm sorry I didn't reach out more, and sorry I didn't, and I'm just, don't apologise at all. I'm grateful you're here now, and we're here now, we move forward, and we've got a great relationship with them, and I'm just sorry I wasn't a better brother earlier. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, Matt, and what you're saying is like, I'm getting a little bit what's in, because you know what, it's like, as a kid, you just think, why is this, what's going on here? This doesn't normally. It's exactly the same. For other people, made an effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But with my situation, my mum wanted a drink. My mum was alcoholic. She was more interested in the ale. Didn't give a shit about us. You know, turning up from school, doors were locked. You had to go to the pub. When you get in the house, there was no food in the cupboards. Going knocking at the neighbours to get bus fare to get to wherever the pub was on the other side of the town and all that. You're making a show of me coming here. I've got no fucking food in the house.
Yeah.
And as you get older now, when I speak to like me brother and that, you know, he went through it as well, and you sort of, like you say, you speak openly about it now. Because as a kid, you feel like you're going to have the piss taken out of you.
Yeah.
Or you feel like you can't speak about it because everybody else has got clothes, got normal family household, it's food in the cupboards.
You know, for me, what was really hard, I could relate to that so much, is because, you know, being the only black one in my family, and I've never fucking really said this out loud actually, but I was always the odd one out, always, right? What was great about my siblings is they never really made me feel openly like I was the odd one out, right? My mum was very clever. She gave me the same surname as my other siblings, right? So I was born with a Senate surname, right? But I'm not a Senate because that's my brother's dad's name. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I guess she gave me that, so on paper I would look the same as everybody else, right? Where, in the grand scheme of things, when you open your eyes, I really don't look the same as any of them, right? So I guess there's a little bit of gratitude in there for what you've tried to do, or have you done that to help me, or have you done that to help you? I don't know. Do you see, as you get older, you start to think.
You question yourself, don't you?
And hence the reason why I changed my name, because I changed my name. You know, you're a kid, people will shorten your name anyway. If your name's Matthew, you call Matt, right? My name, I was Senate at school, and everyone called me Sen, everyone, right? And I was just known as Matt Sen, so that's the reason why I changed my name, because I just thought, my first child's with a Spanish woman, right? Well, my mom doesn't like blacks, and she doesn't like anyone who's not white British. Well, she is white, but she's not British, so you would have been that dirty foreigner. Do you see what I mean? Where my wife now, his relationship didn't work out. We've still got a great relationship, but now my wife now is an Arab. You definitely wouldn't have liked to know. That Mum had a saying in our house, and I just remember as a kid, that if something was dirty, or you pick your nose, scratch your ass, fart, whatever, she'd be like, "Oh, you dirty Arab." Right. It was just a thing that she meant. Obviously, it's a racist comment.
Pass that off, like, yeah.
But it was just something that I really remember, and I was thinking, wow, my wife now is an Arab. Imagine what that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And not only you've got some black Arab kid as well. Oh mate, my kids wouldn't be accepted. My wife wouldn't be accepted. I'm just like,
that must hurt though, Matt. That must. I mean, obviously, you know, if you had a relationship, or what we'll get on, you know, that must hurt, because anyone to pass comments or whatever, but your own blood, it's like, nah, mate.
Well, do you know what it is? What I believe as a parent, our job is to keep our children physically, emotionally, and mentally safe. Right, that's our job, right? And I can't allow anyone who's going to be around my children to hurt them physically, emotionally, or mentally. So I can't have them around my children. And all that then means is just that my children go without a grandma, which is a shame, innit? Or is it?
Similar situation again, mate.
Do you know what I
you know,
mean?
my kids, you know what I mean? I had the same situation. They didn't need my mum to be a grand, because she wasn't a very good mum.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect her to be a fucking good nan, to be honest.
Facts.
And unfortunately, you know, people have got their own take on certain things and that, but if you're not going to be a good mum, you're certainly going to be a good fucking nanny.
Because it ain't your kid. If you can't look after your own kid, what the fuck would look after somebody
else's? And you know what? I'm a granddad, you wouldn't think that, but you know what? Some people say you're all bastard, but do you know what? It's a different love for your grandkids. You love them all unconditionally. You can give them back, that's a good thing, do you know what I mean? but the thing is like, they come and wreck your house and you give them back. But you have this love, it's mad, it's weird. My missus is absolutely blown away with our grandkids and that. My son's two daughters, and it's just a mad love. My missus loves my daughter and my son, but my grandkids, it's just a mad love, and you can see it. But if you've not been a very nice person, it doesn't, you know, and it just doesn't wash with me, you know what I mean? And people might come across this and go, oh, you're being a bit harsh there, but that's just me.
But as a man, do you not feel you have to? Because we have to protect. I'm really old school, I am. So I think men should protect women.
Yeah.
And I generally believe men should protect their household, and protect everything within it. Now, my wife is my queen. So I make a house and she makes it into a home. Do you know? And I say all the time, you know, I'll wear the trousers in my house, but she does the belt. You know them ones, right? And that's what it's like in our house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But collectively, we, you know, and I want to show my girls that actually, as a man, this is how you were meant to be loved, and this is how I'm going to treat your mother, and this is how you're going to accept love from other people, because you won't expect or accept anything less than this. So I then can't allow anybody else to come into that space, into that second circle that we're talking, that family circle, to come into that circle and disrupt that in any way, shape or form with any negativity from any foolishness before. So with that in mind, I have to take that woman completely out of those circles. And over the years, I was upset and I was hurt and I was angry and I cried a lot. And there's no emotion there at all anymore. There's no love. There's no hate. I wish her the best. Just over there, please, away from me. You know
Exactly,
what I mean?
exactly the same. But you know, you're just saying there, I know we'll get a little bit more into it in a minute because there's something I'm going to ask you, but like you're saying there, your morals, your values of like your home, considering what you explained to me about what your environment was like, what it was like in that, you know, on that council estate, and you never had this in, you never had that in, to where you've got the, you know, you don't want your kids to come up like you did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like you're saying about your missus, she's your queen. I wear the pants, but she does the belt. I think a lot of fellas are the same. I wear the pants. Listen, mate, I know a lot of lads who are hiding behind the couch when the missus says something. Do you know what I mean? But listen, you're a team, and that's what you do. And you build, you provide for your family, your kids, no matter what adversities we went through as kids and stuff. And it builds us to where we're trying to get in life. Some people just like look down on people who've come from a background and they do well for themselves and they've worked hard to get where they're at. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if you get that, but
I know I do.
I've seen a lot of people look down the noses at like people who you've grafted. They had nothing. And the story's unbelievable. You see them, they're smashing it. They go, unbelievable. They've created this little business and they've gone on and they've been through a shitstorm. Their life's been terrible, whatever they've gone through. But I just think with like what you're saying there about like growing up and stuff like that, you know, the tough times and stuff. But Matt, I know you've probably got tons of stories, but is there anything that really sticks out that from your childhood that still haunts you to this day?
Nothing that I don't think I've generally tried to overcome. So I do you know, as a kid we moved around a lot, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, we're always in debt. And it's just something I never really understood. So we were always in debt. The longest I remember living anywhere was Pot Village, and then we'd move somewhere else, and then somewhere else, and then somewhere else. I was like, why do we do this? Like, you can't surely get bored that quick and want to move house, because it's a lot of effort in it. Moving house is stressful. But every time we move house, because it's a different area, I have to change schools, I have to change friendship groups. Everything changes, and I never really understood the logic behind it. But Mum was always in debt, right? And she will then say, "I tried my hardest," and she did. She used to work, never proper jobs, always things like cleaning jobs, and she'd have 2 jobs there, 2 jobs there. They would never last very long. So what she did to lose them or stop them doing them, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just remember her going to work and then coming back, and some days she'd be home for months and whatever, right? And then we moved a lot, and it was because what would happen is she'd rack up this debt. Debt collectors come knock the door, find out where she's at, right? And then rather than just setting a repayment plan and getting rid of it, she would say, okay, then no worries at all. We got to move. Get to the council, we'll move somewhere else. And it'd be great for 3 or 4 months until they find you.
And then same again.
Same again.
We were the same. we had like, well, not like moving around all that. I remember the Provident, the Provy we called it.
Provident, yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
It's the Provy, get behind the couch, don't let them fucking see you. You know what I mean? And it'd be like, as you're watching him now, you think, some of the shit that we had to do.
Mad.
I hide, or tell him I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a fucking kid. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was normal, do you know what I mean?
No,
It's the
she's at
telly,
work.
man. Get behind the fucking... I'd be like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's mad. It's so... I think that, you know, many of us that grew up in the 80s and like the early 90s or whatever, if you were in poverty, and a lot of people don't like... It's a big thing. A lot of people don't like using that word, poverty.
It's true. Loads of us,
It's,
isn't it?
and it is.
Yeah.
You know, and like you say, you put that front onto your friends and stuff, but, you know, and you're just like, oh, you know, you go down, there's this fucking tea, and you think you'd be fucking stoked because you haven't eaten properly or whatever and stuff, but... Now then, everyone, sorry for interrupting this episode. Here's a message from our sponsor, Super Resin. They are specialists in resin driveways and flooring across North Wales and the North West. Whether it's a driveway, worktop, or flooring, they've got you covered. For 10% off, use the code TGTBTU. Now let's get back to the episode. You know, when you were saying you were moving around and that, and the debt collectors, did you get to an age where you started understanding then, or did you still not?
Nah, so at 15, my mum got sent to prison. So mum started smuggling, drug smuggling, right? So as I said, we had fuck all, we had no money, nothing. But there'd be times where mum would go away with friends, come back, and she'd have...
Was you left to your own device? Was you left to your...
Usually left the house or stayed with a friend, you know, which is just fucking anybody really would offer to look after me, right? So you get left with all sorts of fucking random people. Where you just think it's crazy because anything could have happened, you know what I mean? And you get to stay at people's houses or whatever. Anyway, mum would come back off holiday, and she'd big smile on her face, and we'd have a couple of grand or a couple of... Now, you would think, logic would say, well, you'd use that money to pay those debts off, right? And then you don't have that issue, stop moving, right?
Build a home.
Yeah. Never the case, right? You know, so then what would they would then happen? My mum was always about a 20-box cigarettes. As long as she had a 20-box cigarette, she was good, right? Doesn't matter about everything else, right? Food in the fridge don't matter as long as I've got my 20-box cigarettes. It was that kind of thing, right? And when I was 15, I went away with her actually, which is fucking wild. So I was talking to my brother about this the other week. So we went away a couple of times and went with her, and I was introduced to these people. Now, because I didn't have a relationship with my dad's Jamaican. We went to Jamaica, and Mum introduced me to these people, these men, as these are your dad's siblings. These are your dad's, this is your dad's family, basically. Okay, then. So who am I to question? They're saying, yeah, I've never met them. I have no relationship with my dad. Who am I to question this? Safe? Yo, fucking great seeing it. They showed me love, everything's all good. I'm like, fucking hell,
This is all right, isn't it?
Fucking, yeah, all right. Do you know what I mean? We come back, everything's all good. We went away, and I forget how many times we went to Jamaica. We went quite a few times, right? So whether something was happening, I don't know, but I was introduced to these people every time we went. So the last time we went when I was 15, we get stopped at the airport. My mum detained, this other woman detained that we went with.
Just on the way back to the UK?
On the way back to UK, Heathrow. Right. What's different now is we've got different cases. Our cases ain't the cases that
you went with?
That we went with, do you get what I mean? And the
was
amount...
Was you on it, the cases?
I've got a fucking clue, yeah. One of them was meant to be mine. My name was on it, but...
But you knew it wasn't the case that you went with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, with the big fucking things that were. I was just like, this is mad. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we got locked up, and I'm there. Now, I'm 15, so thankfully I wasn't 16, because had I been 16, I would have been charged as well. Right? So I ended up getting 5 years, right, for that. What she tried to smuggle over, no, I'm not condoning smuggling either. No. I'm talking piss-taking amounts, right? Absolute piss-taking amounts, like...
Kilos and kilos.
Fucking loads. You can read it, it's all over the internet, so it's not slander, it's there to be read, right? and she did 5 years. So I'm 15 years old.
What was it that they brought back, Matt?
It was just cannabis.
Was it just
Yeah,
weed?
just
Was it
weed.
cannabis?
Yeah. Thankfully. Now, this is what she got done with, and she did 5 years, and I was like, well, and the story that she told was bullshit, and then over the years you stop thinking. This is what I was saying to my brother the other day. I've never spoke to those men again. You know that mate that was supposed to be my so-called family over there. They wasn't my fucking family, was they? What those people were the people who were providing those drugs to my mother for her to bring it over and do whatever she was doing, which makes you think, well, that wasn't the fucking first time we'd done it, because where did the money come from previously?
Who's paid for the flights
Who
and all
paid
that?
for the fucking flight? Jamaica ain't cheap, you know.
No,
Do you know what I mean? We've got fuck all. We have powdered milk in our fridge, bro. We don't have no eggs, no fucking bread half the time. You're picking off the fucking green bits. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're in debt with electric. With we never had money like that to just willy-nilly fuck off on holiday. Do you know what I mean? So where the fuck did the money come from? So you must have been doing something to paying it back. Anyway, so as you get older, you start thinking about that. And I listened to Mum's case, and I was all like, she hasn't done it, she couldn't have done it, she's innocent. But you listen to what comes out of her mouth, and you listen to the case, and I've still got the case folders.
The files and all that.
Yeah, the file, yeah, I've still got that. And you read it, you just think, fucking hell, Stevie Wonder could see he was fucking guilty. Do you know what I mean?
She was banged to rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you would need half a brain to see that he was fucking absolutely guilty. And I just thought, fucking hell, man. Like, you've risked my freedom as well. Like, do whatever you want to fucking do for yourself.
But don't bring your kids
into... Do you know what I mean?
That's just something that, like, yeah, I totally get what you mean. Your fucking life could have been ruined, Matt.
Fucked.
Before it's even started. It's been tough from an early start. You know, you've had not the best start, you know what I mean?
Well, she made it worse because, imagine, I never had much of a relationship with my family at this point, right? We had a relationship, was talking. I used to speak to my sister and my brother. The rest of them I never used to speak to, because I never used to see. And my sister, thankfully, come and got me from London. So she drove all the way from Wolverhampton to come all the way to pick me up in London to bring me home, right? But now I'm back at home in an empty house.
On the jack, on
my own, 15 years old. Now I look and you think of it like this, right? I wasn't a fucking like an equipped 15-year-old. I was just fucking a stupid 50-year-old.
You weren't streetwise.
I wasn't. Yes, I used to hang around in these little in the community, but I was never really in a gang at that point. I was hanging around, so I was always on the cusp, but not quite. I'd always
involved.
Yeah, I knew right from wrong, so I was like, mate,
Swerved
home time now. Yeah, I'm going home. Yeah, see you later, boys. I'll catch you tomorrow. That kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm 15. I'm home alone now. Doors start knocking again. Debt collectors find out where we're at. Right, is this person at home? I'm like, nah, she's not. You know, like, what can I ask you? Yeah.
Did you disclose she was in jail or no?
No, I was terrified of going to care, because 15-year-old boys or 15-year-old anyone shouldn't be living at home alone.
No.
Right. Once the council find out that I'm home alone, someone comes and takes me away. I don't want that. Now, back in the day, was it going to be a little bit different, wasn't it? Because in the 90s, we never had the internet, we never had emails and shit like that. So you can't send an email from over in fucking London to Wolverhampton and say, oh, by the way, his kid's mum's just fucking, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would have been a file. Unless someone physically picked up that file and brought it to Wolverhampton, they would never know. So I was really lucky.
Because that's what I was going to ask you, you know, like now, anything like that.
We fuck straight
you know, if someone gets nicked, a family member, and the kids are taken straight into the fucking,
I'm saying,
you know what I mean?
That would have been done straight to the rest of us to get. So thankfully, that didn't happen, right? So I went home and I made this lie up. This lie was that Mum was at work. And I told this lie so much I believed it to myself, and I found comfort in it. Because rather than walking downstairs and crying my eyes out because I'm home alone, or there's no food in the fridge, or there's no fucking on my last tin of beans, or whatever it may be.
The electric and stuff like that, or was it just?
We had, I think we had pay meters then.
Or the paper cards, remember the paper cards?
Yeah, the ones that you put in. You got to MEB. That MEB, fucking, see what I mean? Go to MEB, you get, yeah, man.
You get lucky cards, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You got £5.
ManWeb or something like that.
Yeah. So, you know, it was one of those. This is when I realised you have to pay for water. Like, people have to pay for water. What the fuck? It's free. Comes out the water. Comes out the rain. Like out the sky. What the fuck? And it was mad when people were knocking on the door. You ain't paid this bill. You ain't paid that bill. I'm like, what the fuck? Mum's at work and blah blah blah. So I went to my community then, and this is when I start involving the other circle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, okay then. So my home circle's fucking chaos, right? I'm on the cusp in my community circle. But I go to them and I say, I need your help because no one ain't at home. I'm alone. And
Did you tell these people like
yeah, I told them straight.
your mum was in jail? And
Yeah, mum's been locked up. I'm at home. Fucking,
What do I do?
I don't know what to do. People are knocking the door. They're gonna take me to care man and take me away. What do I do? And they give you all the bullshit. I know it's bullshit now, but at the time, imagine I was a boy who'd never had any of this. They put their arm around me. I got your brother.
That's what I'm saying, like a
Got your
grooming
back.
process.
Yeah,
You know
bro,
what I mean?
that's fucking. It's mad. That's exactly what it was. I've got your brother, your family now. You're one of us. Okay, yeah. What have I got to do to be one of you? You got to be this. You got to do this. You got to do. All right. Well, if you're gonna help me in this, and they did. They helped me. Paid all my bills off. No issues. People stopped knocking the door. Safe. But now I owe you stuff. I need to do this for me, please. Can you start moving that for me, please?
Come on, take that to do
Take
better.
that to such and such. Yeah. Now here's the thing. Then in my third circle school, I harboured secrets, so I never told them about what was happening at home because teachers talk. They have to talk. They have to
And then
report
that's when
everything.
it'll come to.
That's when someone takes me away. I don't want to be taken away. All this is because I didn't want to be taken away to care. So, fucking, what's then happened is I've said I need your help, but like I said, I harboured these secrets. One of the secrets that I harboured was the fact that I can't count even to today. Like I really struggle. I can do the basics. I'm not a complete idiot, but you put a decimal point in there, you fucking lost me now, right? And so you can imagine when I was a kid, I never really had nothing to do with money. I never had to because we never had money to do anything with, you know. So then people have said, all right then, I need you to move this, but you have to weigh this. And that equals this, and this is how much you're going to sell it for. So I'm like, yeah, safe, cool. I'll go and do what I need to do, right? And I'm taking it on good faith that you're giving me what you're saying, because I can't fucking count it. I can't weigh what you're asking for. It could be more, could be less, right? And I can't count the money you're giving me. Could be more, could be less. I don't know, because I haven't got a clue. I'm that stupid and that naive.
You're just being told such and such is going to give you X amount.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's it. This is worth this much, and this is what you need to get from them. Safe. All right then, cool. Here's what you said you wanted, and this is how much it's going to cost you. Safe. I'll put it in a bag. I'll take it back to the people that they're asking it for. Then they turn around and say, "I'm happy. I'm fucking happy as Larry." I turn up. There you go. Done what you asked me to do. Told ya. Like, yeah, appreciate it. You're taking a piss.
It's fucking down by such and such, or have you been taken fucking?
I don't fucking know. And then I get a slap, and then I get another slap because I never told you that I couldn't count. So why would you let me give you this if you know you can't do this? You can't do. I'm desperate. I don't want to pressure. I don't want to let you down because you've helped me. And you know, now I'm in your debt, and now I can't go anywhere, and now I can't go even if I want to. Do you see what I mean? It only gets fucking worse. He got me shot at. He got me stabbed. It got me really fucking. It gradually gets worse, and you just think, well, what the fuck do I do now? So that's my third. That's all three areas fucked up. I stopped going to school because now not only am I hiding my home life from you, I'm hiding out what I'm doing in my community away from you, right? And I can't count either. I'm that far behind in all my lessons that there's no point in turning up because now you're gonna think I'm a joke, right? I don't want to be a failure. I'm so scared of being a failure or letting people down. And what I was alluding to earlier is I'm the only black one in my family, right? Although that doesn't matter, and I'm aware it doesn't matter. I didn't want to be the only fuck up as well. My brothers and my sisters do really well for themselves. They're doing really, really well. They've all distanced themselves. They're doing what they're doing with their own individual families. And then out comes the black sheep of the family, that's fucking around in the community, building a name for himself, getting arrested, doing these things, doing it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, now I know now. I could have just picked up the phone and said, look, I need your help. But I didn't want to. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed.
And do you know what? That's the thing, Matt, and we spoke about it before. Like speaking out and speaking. When you're a kid, you don't want people to know you're struggling or you don't. You know what I mean? You feel embarrassed. Do you know what I mean? And when it's something so simple, what now more people are talking about, talk to someone.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily need to be your best friend, or it could be anybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what you need, you know, we need to do, and stuff like that. And I think when you're like that, and I think now as you understand it, it's just, you look back and you go, yeah, I should have just spotted him. Because now, as we get older, as an adult, you think to yourself, I don't really give it. I don't like now. I don't give a fuck what people think. You know what I mean? It's one of them. It's, if you don't like this or like that, you know, fair dues. But when you do certain things, and I'm not really, you know, I'll reach out to people. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. If I've got an issue, I'll reach out. Where normally you
Do you think
go.
that comes with maturity and experience, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And you would have learnt that. That would have been a learnt lesson. There was nobody there to teach me anything. So everything that I learned, I had to learn the hard way.
Self-taught, innit?
Well, we
Or
have a saying,
you have good people around you who might not necessarily be, you know, family, but they've treated you like family.
yes,
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those. I've been
And there's a
very
lot
lucky.
of people to thank, you know, and certainly in my lifetime, you know, and probably in yours, you know, friends, mums and dads and stuff who you'll never forget. People you said you went to nursery and school with, you know.
There's a saying in that community: if you can't hear, you must feel. And people tell you, oh, don't do that. The bad people them. Don't bad people them. The bad people them. And then you get hurt, and then they're like, I tried to tell you. Well, you right, you know, you fucking did try to tell me.
You learn the hard way, you know what I mean? I told you. I'm not telling, I told you so, but, you know, you've got to learn the hard way and stuff. But, do you know, usually, like you say, hiya everyone, sorry to interrupt this episode, but here's a quick one from me. If you're enjoying the podcast and you enjoy what we're doing, you can now buy us a coffee. It's a simple way to keep those stories coming. No subscription, just that one-off bit of support. The link's in the description. Now back to the episode. How did you get into boxing, Matt? Was that something that you found on the streets?
So,
Because obviously you're saying,
do you know what? When I was 13, so this is before Mum got sent to prison, right? So when I was 13, I thought I was a little bit of a tough guy.
the boy in that, yeah.
And I wasn't at all. I was a string of piss, mate, just skinny, fucking. And I guess, like I said, you're around certain communities. You're in the community. I'm on the cusp. I'm not quite in yet, but I'm on the cusp. I've got mates, and I'm just like, hey, do this, and I'm gonna got an extra kick in my step, and all that kind of stuff, you know. And it was over a girl. It must have been over a girl, and before you know, we get into a fight. That fight extends. He calls his brother, or his cousin, or whoever it is, and next thing you know, you have another fight, and I shit myself, if I'm honest. That's the truth behind it, and I ended up stabbing this kid.
Really?
Yeah, I stabbed him in the face, which was fucking awful. And what's wild about it is how this reacted, because man, the aftermath of that was frigging crazy. Whether it come from him, whether it come from people he knew, his mates, whatever, the aftermath was wild. And you know, you think to yourself, like, what the fuck have I got myself in for now? Like, you go here, they go here. So you go there. They're willing to go there.
Tit for tat, isn't it?
I'm not willing to go any further than where you've just taken that to. So now, look, what the fuck happened? Like, some serious things. I won't
delve into
really
that.
go, because I'm talking
Yeah.
bad shit. And it's like, fucking hell, wow. All that come over for what? Some little tramp of a girl. Do you know what I mean? It's wild, isn't it? And you just think, oh my God.
From is that where you found boxing?
I found boxing, because
obviously you've done that.
in our estate, it was like, have it out, bang it out. Last man standing now, because look how far you've took it. The only way this is gonna go away is if you do this. All right, I can't fight. Like, and he's older than me. You know, your kids, and you're like, this guy's like 17, 18, or 17, and I'm maybe 13 or something stupid. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? But I've took it too far, so it's my own fault. I could have just took the slap, and I wasn't prepared to. So I walked into a boxing gym, right? I'll never forget it. Wolverhampton ABC, and I owe this man everything. And I've said this on all of my podcasts. I haven't seen this man for fucking 20. What old am I? 28 now, so I'm 13. So however many years that was, 20 odd years, isn't it? There's a guy called Dennis. I'm walking through. It's all been done out now. It's all lovely. But as you used to walking off the road, You'd walk in, they'd have a reception at the end, and then you'd turn left into his gym. And he would always be at the counter. Walked in, as soon as he saw my face, he said, "You see you? Turn around, fuck off at my gym."
Because did he know what
He must have knew what, who I was,
And what you'd done.
reputation. I built a reputation for myself, and I think he knew. And I was like, "I need your help."
No egos in here, no.
Yeah, we don't have that shit. Right in here, it's a boxing gym, mate. We have good lads in here that want to work hard, that want to train. You ain't that type. Fuck off and get out my
It's
gym.
just straight up with you.
Straight, no messing about. Big black guy called Dennis. I'm going to sit and fucking argue with him about it. So I had a few quid in me. So I slammed it on the table and I said, "Look, I pay my money like everybody else." And he smiled. He gave me this funny little snigger and he said, "You think I will take your money?" That's what he said. "I'll take your money, right? But all right, then I'll tell you what. You want to play that game with me? I'll tell you what then." He pointed to the end of his gym. So to set the scene, you'd walk in, you'd see Dennis, you'd turn left, and you go into the gym. It was like a big open room. As you walked in to the left of that, as you walked into the left, there was a boxing ring, right? Then next to that boxing ring was all your boxing drills and all that kind of stuff. You know, the bags and all that kind of shit. The far end of the room, which no one goes to, was a roller shutter, right? So it's always cold by the roller shutter in it. And then there was a big, heavy bag, massive, with tape on it and tape pulling off and all that kind of shit.
Whacked.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't even hanging up. It was leant against the roller shutter. It was called the dickhead bag. So if you was a dickhead in your class, that's your bag for the rest of the session. So he said, "I'll take your money, mate, and that's your fucking bag. Let me see you leave that bag for any minute, right? And I'll kick straight out this fucking gym. You'll never come back. Give me a reason." And I thought, shit. All right then, cool. So I thought, right, well, I'm halfway in now, innit? So I'm on the bag. I don't know what I'm doing. I ain't got a clue, right? And I'm trying to watch the boys, but they're so far away. It's not. It's
Trying to pick up on what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm trying
and
to watch what they're on. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm moving some of the guys, make the grunts and all that stuff. And I thought, okay, yeah, I need to make some noise to make them think I'm whacking it. So now I'm grunting. I'm like, whack, rah, rah, whacking his bag. No one pays attention. No one gives a shit. Oh, what the fuck? The whole session. I'll go away, say bye. No one says nothing. I'll come back next 3 days a week or whatever it was. Come back, same thing. There's your bag. Crack on, mate. Don't want to see you fucking move. Shit. Become a habit to the point where I used to come all the time. And it become a thing where I was like, there's no point in even saying hello because you ain't going to answer me. And I already know that's my bag. So you ain't going to tell me now. Lock safe. I'll just crack onto the bag. Anyway, the one day he said to me, "Oi." I don't even know if he called me by my name. I can't remember. But I remember he was saying to me, "Do you want to spar?" What the fuck's sparring? I'm brand new, you know. "Do you want to spar?"
Do you think he was going to the shop or something?
I was like, I don't know what the fuck he was banging on about. I said, what's that? He said, "You're a tough guy, innit? You can fight." I'm thinking, yeah, shit, now's my time to shine. Because I'm going to boxing to learn to fight so I can go and chin this boy. So I can put my life back together and not have these problems. Anyway, I'll get in the ring. He says, "You're a tough guy, blah, 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 blah. You want to fight?" I'm like, yeah, fuck, man, now's my time to shine. I'm going to show you that I'm really about this, right? And you're going to throw your arms around me and say, "Yeah, he's my new champ and he's going to do this, going to show me what I need to do," right? I get in the ring and I got smashed to pieces. Now, bearing in mind, I ain't got no head guard on, I got no gum shield, I got no fuck all, mate. Because 90 is different in it. Health and safety ain't like the way it is today. I get in the ring, I get smashed to pieces, man. Fucking bad. I can't even tell you the amount of times I got dropped. But I got smashed, right? So I'm about to leave, about to go home, and I heard him say, whether it was to a parent or another coach or whoever it was, but I just distinctively remember him saying, "We'll never see him again now." Almost like good riddance type thing. I was like, you won't fucking do me like that. By looks to that. You ain't going to just beat me up and think I ain't going to come back.
I'm coming back.
Yeah. A couple of days later, I've come back and I'm fucking...
Black eye. Yeah.
Fucked, mate. And he said to me, "I don't know if you were stupid or you got something to prove, but time will tell." And he sat back and I went back on the dickhead bag and I carried on. This is all mentioned in my book. I've got a chapter called The Dickhead Bag. Right. Because it played such a part of my life. And then a couple of weeks went on, and I've just got used to being ignored. Like, because it just happens, but I'm here now. It's become a habit. And I'm trying to pick up some shit, still can't do shit. And then he says to me, "Oh, you want to spar again?" I said to him, "Look, listen, I get it. I understand what you're trying to do, and I get it.
You're trying to break me
Right,
there. mate.
I'm right. Whatever. Yeah, I'll get in safe. Do me a favour, please. Just at least tell me how to defend myself. Cause I ain't got a fucking clue.
Teach me the basics and
Yeah,
that.
just show me how to defend myself. I'm not bothered how to throw a punch. Just let me not get it as many times as I did before. Anyway, he spent maybe 10 minutes or so showing me some basic like catches and blocks and whatever. I got in there and I got smashed again. But I was dead after myself because it wasn't half as bad. You see what I mean? So I felt like I'd achieved
You'd learn
something.
something.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of the things he was telling me were working. I was like, oh shit, okay. Bang, got cutting it off. Fucking okay, I'll keep that up there then make sure. It's mad. And I went away happy as Larry, which was really stupid because I got smashed up again. But I'm happy as Larry because I'm learning stuff. I come back again, and I remember him saying to me, right, you're gonna be one of them fucking kids and now like just non-stop. Like, don't worry about giving him that bag now. Come and join the class, mate. And he was like I was accepted.
Sort of warmed
yeah,
a little. Yeah.
like I was accepted and I started learning and whatever. And there was a kid particularly called Chip, and I don't know what his real name is, and I'd love to see him again. But a kid called Chip, little white lad on his short. He used to hit the bag, and he was so fit, like not stop, and never seemed to get tired. And I was like, what?
His fitness was unreal.
Yeah. I said, what the fuck? How? It was like, because I'll go for a run in the morning. Oh, what do you mean? I could get up in the morning before school, I'll go for a run, and then I'll train again in the afternoon. I do this and that. Fucking okay then. But like, we run while we're here. Yeah, we do. But I run as well in the morning to make you extra fit. Shit, okay. And he invited me to come with him. But then by running with Chip meant I couldn't be out until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning with my community because I needed to be in the gym with Chip. I needed to meet Chip at East Park to run.
5 o'clock or whatever in the morning. You needed your kip and that, yeah.
So I stopped hanging around with the people in the streets. I started running more. I wasn't still going to school because I was still trying to
hide the fact
that shit was going on and I couldn't count or whatever. Again, Mum's still not been sent to prison yet, but my school days were sporadic. So I would run, sleep, come back again, train, and then people started making those comments about, fuck me, you're getting fit today, you went there. Fucking hell, like you.
So you were fitting in, you started fitting in. How did that make you feel? How did that make you feel, Matt?
Like I had the first time I've got fucking proper friends. Just not my.
You're part of something.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've got friends, right, and I'm still friends with them today. But this will be the first time outside of that community that I've really made friends that I'm running with, I'm talking to, that I'm having a laugh with.
You feel part of something.
Yeah, I was a part of something. That's the best way to.
That's it, isn't it?
It's mad, and I fucking loved it. And then we start boxing. And everything's good, and I become a boxer, and everything's great, and then we move house.
But you know what you're saying there? You move house. From moving house? Did you know signing pro? Did that come
way after? So imagine
and becoming signing pro and becoming cruiserweight champion. Is that right? Was that?
Yeah. So what had happened is it got to a stage where no one really took me seriously as an amateur boxer because. Then I put all that work in. I box, we then move house. I go to another gym, right? Another trainer puts all that work in. These guys don't get paid for doing this.
They give their own time up, yeah.
Give their time. They don't get paid for this. They invest his time into me. Might box 1 or 2 times, and we move again. And somebody else, and it gets to a stage where people just think, "What's the point of putting time into it?" There's no point. There is no point because you're just gonna fuck off up and run. And how do I explain to somebody, it's not me taking a piss, guys, it's my mum when I don't really understand it myself?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of fucked up that. I have a massive break from boxing because I'm like, fuck it. Like, just fuck it all. And the community situations gets better, you know, outside, out of mind, isn't it? Which is always good, right? So thankfully, nothing come of that afterwards. And then, fast forward years later, my bro Nath, my younger, he gets an opportunity to turn pro as a boxer, but he's in Birmingham. He was living in Redditch, and I was like, oh man, yo, so excited for him. Like, I want to see him achieve. I want to see him do some great stuff. What can I do to help you? Well, there's no heavyweight sparring. Just help me get fit. Safe. Yo, if you're in the gym, I'm in the gym. That's just the way that's going to happen. So I agreed to stay in the gym with him and sparring. That was it. But obviously, I'd boxed as a kid, so I knew the basics. I knew what I was doing, and blah blah blah. Yes, many years had passed. And we travelled around sparring, and we did all sorts of stuff, man. It was wild. And then people make comments, and you just whatever. But I'm 29 at this point, far too old to be thinking about turning fucking pro. And then Carlos Christie, said to me, ex-professional boxer, who was Nathan's coach, you really need to fucking turn over here. Don't take it for granted. Turn over. I said, nah, it's fucking stupid. What a shit.
And what age was you, 29?
29. What a stupid fucking conversation. What a stupid... I'm not entertaining that conversation. It's fucking stupid. Like, behave yourself, innit? That was the end of that. Then I get a phone call from Greg Steen. God rest his soul, he's dead now. But within the small hall shows, Greg Steen was the name. Like, people knew Greg Steen.
He was, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The small hall boxing, like, you box at York Hall or something like that, it's probably one of Greg's shows, you know. I was like, wow, okay then. And so he's called me. Well, firstly, how the fuck do you get my number? That's weird, that, isn't it? Like,
I think it was a wind up.
Yeah, I was like, you're taking a piss. Like, why would you call me? I need to talk to you, Matt. Come and see me. Where are you? I mean, Thames Valley, I think he was. I met him. Thames Valley.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I get to Thames Valley? Because at 25, I went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Right.
That was one of my next things.
Next questions. So 25 went bankrupt, staged it for 5 years. I'm 29 at this point. I'm still broke. I'm on my arse. I got fuck all. And as embarrassed as I was to say, I had to be honest. I said, listen, I'm not fobbing you off, mate, but I ain't got no money to come and see you. Like,
Skins?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing. No worries. I will send me your email address and I'll send you over a train ticket. So you got no excuse. Look forward to seeing you. Shit. Okay. Nathan took me up, thankfully. So he took me up. And I remember sitting in front of Greg and he was talking to me, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, I can do the other. And put this contract on the table. I was like, what the fuck? On this side, you can change my life. Life can change today by signing this contract.
But then on the other flip
side, the other side, all your fears start coming to thing then. And you start thinking, well, anybody who's ever given me anything has taken it away. Do you see what I mean? And every time it's been taken away, it's been
too good to be true, do you mean?
Yeah. Like, anyone who's given me anything has always taken it away. And it's always cost me. It's been painful. When things was going right in my business, I went bankrupt, things were going great. I had a fucking TV show, we were killing it. So I thought, numbers get in the way. I can't understand numbers, can I? So in hindsight now, I get it. But at the time, we're killing it. But I still fall bankrupt. What the fuck's going on? Before that, I had another business that was killing it, doing well at a barbershop in a place where there were no other barbershops.
Yeah.
Absolutely raking it in. But I didn't have the money to pay the bills and to do this and to do this, and I had to close up. And thankfully, I just liquidated that company, but didn't fall bankruptcy, thankfully. So I learned thought I'd learned from that, opened up this business. Now we're killing it. We're on TV. Had a TV show, had a TV talk show.
What was the TV talk show?
Called Rage TV. Rage TV was an acronym for realistic, achievable goals for everyone. That's what it was for. And it was about meeting people who spoke about almost like a live podcast, but on telly. It was like that, basically. Talking about people's journeys, what they do, and any message that they've got out for the community who can follow it. Do you see what I mean? And it was, man, we met everyone. I interviewed everyone you can think of, from fucking boxers to wrestlers to fucking bodybuilders to just
a different variety.
It was mad, mate. It was just fucking incredible. So I'm travelling up and down the place, doing all these interviews and doing all these things, and
it just comes with a bang.
It just stops, and I was like, wow. And it was the most painful thing, because when I don't know if you've ever suffered bankruptcy, but I felt that there's less of a stigma today when there was then, but there was a stigma that when you're bankrupt, you're worthless. Like, your bankruptcy, that kind of thing. And I remember specifically one of the worst, one of the most embarrassing times of my life being a bankruptcy, right, was I went to Tesco and I was piss poor, mate, piss poor. I went to Tesco. No disrespect to Tesco, but I went to Tesco and I went to, do you know the little counter next to where the people,
The whoopsie aisle.
the little quick one,
Yeah.
quick counter.
Self-service. I thought you were saying you were going to the...
Next to the self-service one,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
the one
yeah.
there, yeah, the
Yeah.
information one, but they can serve you as well, but they never do.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that one. So I went there, and a woman was lovely to start with, and she said to me, "Have you got a club card?" I said, "Nah, it's a club card. You get like discounts on things." Fucking hell, mate, I need that because I've got fuck all, mate. I've got no money. I pound him. I don't think I have a bank because you're not allowed bank, are you? You're nothing like that. It's got cash, so I'm like, right, sweet, yeah, I'll have that. What have I got to do? Just fill this in, so stand aside while people are getting served, and I fill this thing in, try and get a few quid off or pounds or whatever. Give her this back. She says, "Oh, I've got to make a phone call to head office or whatever it was." She's made this phone call, and then they've declined me a
They knocked
fucking
you
test.
back.
Yeah, and I was like, but the way the girl done it, she did it in front of people. There was a queue of people behind me, and the way she'd done it, she was like, I don't understand why she's dead loud. I don't know why they've understood it. Unless you've been like a bankruptcy or you got an IVA or something like that. Maybe you've got one of those. And I just thought, you just go,
Just wants the ground to swallow you up.
yeah. I was like, oh my God, no. And I think I just ran out of the shop. I was just embarrassment. I'm a grown man. And I'm just like, fucking, I can't do it. And
Mentally,
yeah.
how did mentally going from there, Matt? How did that hit you, mate? Like,
I wanted to smash her teeth in. Is what I wanted to do. Like, I can't believe you've done this. I'd never raised my hand to a female.
No, but she embarrassed, like you're saying, them shouting it all over the shop.
Yeah,
and
like, and
consider what you've gone through, and
yeah,
they couldn't.
no one's looking at you, but you feel like the whole world is staring at you.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
everyone stops what they're doing. Look at him. Boom. Look, that's how I felt. And I thought, oh my God. But when you're a bankruptcy, it's difficult because the way to not be a bankruptcy is to get a job. Nobody will give you a job because one of the first things on there after your name and address is, have you ever had bankruptcy, or have you got an IVA or in debt management? You tick yes. They look at your CV and they say, nope, next. So you can't get a job anyway. And man, I'd bummed around for ages. So I'm bumming around, got no money, and got a pot to piss in. And Greg said, boom, change your life here. Or go back to the way life is now. And I'm like, but anyone who's ever given me anything has taken it away.
That's been always in the back of your mind.
Yeah. Let me think about it, and I crack and I fucking crumble, and I go home, and Dave takes me back. And I'll start calling around the people who are meant to love you the most. My mum, my mates.
For advice.
Got the opportunity. This could be... I've been offered to be a professional boxer.
How many fight deal did he offer you, or?
It wasn't a deal. It was just an ongoing contract.
Right.
I think it was like a 2-year deal to start with. No fights. No, do you know some people get like a five-fight contract?
Yeah.
It was nothing like that. It was just like, I think it was like a 2-year deal, and I'd take the fights as and when they come. I wasn't on the road or nothing like that. I was fighting as a prospect, and I was like, this is wild. I'm not giving a journeyman contract to fight, and do you know what I mean? Just get beaten up on the road. Like, you want to be a prospect, I'll help you be a prospect and win some shit. And I'm like, this is mad. Like, how the fuck is this even happened? Why am I even stood in front of you? Like, this is mad. I phone people and people laugh at me down the phone. They tell me I'm too old. They tell me I'm stupid. They tell me I'll get knocked out. My mum laughed at me and said, get a job like everybody else. And well, that's what I've been trying to do for the last 29 years, and it ain't fucking worked. Which is mad. The only person who believed in me, and I generally mean this, the only person I spoke to who believed in me was Nathan. Nobody else. He was the only person saying to me, you can do this, man. Don't fucking ignore everybody else, man. I'm telling you. The only person, so if it wasn't for him, it would never, none of this would have even happened. And I bit the bullet, signed the contract, and had the worst professional debut in history, probably. So it felt. Maybe not, but I felt.
You felt that?
It was piss poor. I wanted to prove everybody with a bang, like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I asked through it and I got a win. I won. How I don't fucking know, but I won. I won points. And maybe now, and I guess after speaking to my like a counsellor about this, he said maybe you wasn't trying to win. In your head, you were looking for a way out. You was in your head, he said, that you wanted to prove everybody right. You know what, mate? You were right what you said. I wasn't good enough. And you were right. I'm sorry. Which is wild, to think of it like that.
Yeah.
And in my next fight, I fought a guy called Russ Henshaw, and everyone was saying, don't take Russ for a second fight. That's fucking dumb. I think he just fought Lawrence Okoli or something. He obviously went on to be a world champion.
Yeah.
He had a 50-50 record. He's coming to win. He's not coming to
It's not a journeyman. He's
after your first fight with a journeyman and you scrape to win, is Russ a fucking sensible fight? And I'm like, nah, but I need to test myself. Like, I need this fight for me, not for anybody else. Because if I go in there and I get smashed away, then yeah, okay.
It's make or break, which it's even though it's 2 fights in. Like,
literally, I'm like, I would have said, Greg, thank you so much, but I'm sorry, I'll let you down. It would have been one of those. But I'm used to letting people down, so I forget it. Like,
just that the mentality you had.
Yeah, I'm a fuck up. Like, I know I'm a fuck up. Because if I had it right, even when I try and get it right, I'm still a fuck up. I have my own business and I'm still a fuck up because I fucked it up. And I need to let myself down, let my staff down. Does that make sense? And
it does, but you know what? We all learn. You know what I mean? It's a learning curve, but at the time you think to yourself, you do question yourself, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I never had those skills or that experience or that knowledge at that time to understand anything less. So I expected to fail, I expected to be a fuck up, and I expected to let people down. So when I go out there and I smash Russ, I'm like, hang on, what the fuck's going on here? Like, I was really surprised myself because I had a great time doing it as well. Beat him on points, but I had a great time. Like, I really enjoyed my time in there.
With all the people in the arenas and stuff like that, how did that make you feel? Like,
wasn't asked.
Did you just blanked out?
Yeah, like,
I know there's only you and him in there and the referee, like, but
like, I honestly, none of that fazed me at all. And I was like, this is mad. Like, the only time I really faced those type of nerves was my debut, and I was petrified. And I remember nothing of my debut until I watch it back, and I'm like, oh, fuck it now. Because it's piss poor, so don't watch it because it is piss poor. But it's mad. And then, 4 fights in, I fight for a title and I become a champion. I'm like, what the fuck? Far too early. People are fast tracking my career because of my age, probably. Yeah. This guy got something about him, but he's fucking careful. He's like, he's 30, 31 or whatever it was when I won it. And then he's like, okay, then. And then I make a mistake that probably ruined my career.
Opportunity.
Yeah. Well, no. So I was getting ready to fight Shaq and Peters. So Shaq's a good friend of mine now, but he was a cruiserweight at the time. So I thank fuck I didn't fight him because he would have smashed me to pieces, right? But, I love Shaq to bits, man. He's fucking class. But I was meant to fight Shaq, but he had a couple of fights more than I had. So I was like, look, tell you what, I will have another warm up.
And then
just bring somebody in, beat him up, practice some of the stuff I worked on, and then get Shaq in and fight him for this title. All right, that was the idea. Anyway, my coach at the time, Pete, kept saying, "You're not big enough to be a cruiserweight. You're going to be far more dangerous being a light heavy, right?" But I really struggled in my weight. Really struggled. I had no dietitian or fuck all at the time. Never had the money for that at then because small hall shows don't pay big money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do I do this? Oh, we'll do this. So I'm taking his advice because he's my trainer. So on the same day weigh-in, I come to the weigh-in, and I'm 13 stone something, lightest I've fucking ever been probably. And I said to him, I feel like fucking death.
I was going to say, that's it. Did you feel it at the weight?
I was fucking dying. And he said to me, nah, mate, you'll be all right. Listen, we're going to go get some food now. You've got 4 or 5 hours to sort yourself out. Have a little sleep, man. You'll be good to go. Safe. We go Star City. We go Nando's. it's in this way and out the other end, right? Continuously. I can't keep anything down. Food, water, nothing. It's coming in one out the other end. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then he's like, don't worry, I'll take you back to the arena that we're boxing at. I think it was at Villa Park. He was at Villa Park. Take you back to Villa Park and have a nap. Take it to one of the change rooms, have a nap. You'll be right when you get up. Safe, okay, cool. I'm putting all my trust into this guy. So I was a decent ticket seller. Now, bearing in mind, your coaches get 10%, right? So I'm not right. Okay, so I'm not cool. So anyway, I go back to Villa Park. I have a nap. I wake up and I feel like fucking worse. He wraps my hand. I keep going for the toilet. He keeps saying, "That's nerves. That is. That's nerves. That is nerves getting." I'm like, nerves ain't making me good for having a piss, bro. I'm telling you, like I feel like shit. Keep going to the toilet. I collapse in the toilet. Literally in the urinal, which is not flattering, is it? Face full of piss, just fucking.
It's just before you're ready to.
Before and for, yeah. Pete's come in. Are you okay? You okay? You okay? Fix me up, tidy me up, flash me up. Continue to wrap my hands.
The pulls you out straight out.
Oh yeah, but then if you pull me out, you don't get 10% because I don't get paid.
Instead of thinking about your health.
Fortunately, not everybody's like that, mate. And
he sent you out there.
Sent me out there against a journeyman who I should have. He'd never won a fight. This opponent, I think he'd had six fights, 6 losses. Never won. Never, and I should have put him away.
But your body, you can, like you're saying there, you know, and you hear all this all the time with boxing and stuff where fighters are trying to make weight and they're killing themselves.
So you get brain damage. So I remember walking in, right? I remember walking into the ring, right? And I always lift my leg over the second rope. Couldn't get my leg over the second rope, mate. It took me a few attempts. I got in. And I remember the ref looked at me and he says, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah." It was like, "Oh, Pete, is he all right?"
You could
yeah,
see.
he just knew. Right, and he was like, yeah. I'm all right, man. I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter. Just let me fucking fight. Let me just get this done.
Especially in Villa Park as well. And
yeah, with all these people coming. Listen, let me just fucking get in there. It should be an easy fight. Let me get in there, chin him, make easy work of it, and I'm going home because I feel like fucking death. So let me get it done. That's what I'm thinking, right? I get in there, and I thought, you know what? He hit me with a jab, and I thought, I felt that, and I shouldn't have felt that. Okay, and my legs ain't doing what I want them to do.
Your body just wasn't
right. It ain't
right.
going nowhere. He's hit with the right hand, and I'm just picking myself up off the floor thinking, what the fuck is going on?
He dropped you like...
Dropped me straight away. And I was like, what the fuck is... And I wasn't with it at all. My head was spinning, and I wasn't knocked out. My head was spinning. I was just like... My mind saying, just fucking get out there and box. And the ref was like, "Matt, are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking sound." He was like, "You eh? Like, you're fucked, mate." No.
Did he wave it
and
off?
He waved it off. And I was like, what the fuck? How embarrassing is that now? Against a journeyman who's never, he's come for me to whoop his ass. That's all he came for. The purpose of him being there, no disrespect for him, but the purpose of him being there was for me to beat you up, right, so I can get ready for my next steps. That's your purpose.
You're saying it's embarrassing, Matt, but you know what's embarrassing? Is your fucking trainer sending you out there, mate. Well, if I'm going to be honest...
It gets worse, mate, because, what happened is... we've made up now, and, you forgive but you don't forget, And I wish him the best. But basically what had happened was a reporter come to me, and I don't like journalists, but a journalist that I do know come to me and he said, "Matt, something wasn't up, something wasn't right. What the fuck happened?" And I said to him, "Look, I'll tell you the story. But I'll tell you what, if I give you that story, will you put
Don't edit it like the wrong way.
Yeah. Put it in a way that people can learn from my mistake. I've made a mistake now. It's probably going to cost my career. Right. And I'm still early in. Right. There's loads of talks about all these different potential fights and potential whatever coming up and fighting this person. There's some big names in the mix. And now all of a sudden, fuck all's going to happen now because of this bullshit.
Thrown back on the scrap heap sort of
thing.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, fucking hell. Back in smaller shows, yeah. And I was like, fucking... So I said, just let people learn from my lesson, please. And we read this story, and I was open and honest, and I was like, it was massively dehydrated when I was going to the doctors, and I was fucking on the brink of dehydration and blah, 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 and that's where brain damage comes from and all that kind of stuff and whatever. Anyway, the boxing board went ballistic.
Because of this? article that went out because
Bloody
obviously
article that went out. Because it was like, how can you open? You keep your mouth shut about these type of things. You don't talk about these things. And I was like, well, how do people learn from these things if you don't talk about them? Because shortly after me was another guy called Jordan Clayton. Jordan Clayton did the exact same thing as I did, and got rushed to hospital with a brain injury.
brain on the plate.
Right? Something stupid like that. Yeah. It was bad. He did the exact same thing to me. He's a lovely kid. You know what I mean? So we will do stuff like that because we're boxing.
Fighters,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and some of us don't know. So you can't expect us to know unless somebody opens their mouth and says, listen, I'm going to fuck it. So I would be that guy. And if you don't like me, then fuck it. It is what it is. Right?
You're trying to prevent anything horrific happening, do you know what I mean?
But the boy didn't like that. Right. There's a guy called Martin. I'll openly say his name because he's a wanker. Right. There's a guy called Martin. Right. Big fat cunt as well, which I never understood. You talking to me about weight and you fucking struggling yourself. Do you know I'm talking big wobbly mess? But anyway, long story short, keep that in this fucking edit because he's a wanker, mate. So anyway, I ended up getting a fine and getting banned for opening my mouth. It was only a 6-month ban or whatever it was. So I was banned.
Speaking the truth.
It's for right. Politics though, yeah. And I learned, and maybe I should have played the game better, and I should have had more decorum about myself as a professional. I should have adopted myself professionally and stuff like that. But Martin triggered me in that meeting because he kept pointing at me, and I started off like, "Yes, sir, you're right. I'm so sorry."
There's only so much you can take, innit?
Yeah, and then he's, "Yeah, but you should know. But you should know. Yeah, but you should know." He told me the fine. I was like, "Fucking hell. Okay, cool. All right, safe, whatever. Not fucking happy about that. Yeah, but you should." Dude, do me a favour, stop fucking pointing at me, because do you know? And then that's when it started. Well, look, there's only so much of this you can fucking. You only can back me up so much before I'm going to open my mouth, and do you know what I mean?
And give you it back.
And that's where it happened, and then that's what caused the additional problems, which I think stayed with him throughout certainly a part of that career, because I never got to fight for a title again, which is funny, isn't it? But anyway, I digress. So I've put this message out. This is whatever, and I had some really good feedback from some real big name professional boxers messaging me saying, "Fucking hell, I'll credit you for doing that, putting that out there." And so
you had the bollocks to
because I had the bollocks to speak up. Yeah. So I've then gone out, and the rest of my career, it's just different now. I'm no longer that fucking unbeaten prospect that they're looking to do this, they're looking to fast track anymore. It's just like, they called me to fight people like Isaac Chamberlain. He was world ranked, and one of the best in the world.
Was that at Wembley Arena?
Now that was in Sheffield Arena. That was during lockdown. So imagine lockdown's happening. I thought one of your boys actually up here, Damien Chambers.
Yeah.
He was one of Ricky Hatton's boys. Smashed me. I generally didn't. He's such a nice guy as well. Punches like a fucking truck, that guy. I generally thought I'd come in and smash him in. I thought, I'll come to your hometown, I'll smash you in. No, it didn't happen.
Was he tough? Yeah.
Fucking yeah, he was.
He's out there. Was he in the Hatton stable?
He was one of Hatton's boys, yeah. Man, he was massive. I don't know how he done it, man. But weighing, he was a big guy, body beautiful guy, built like Joshua. Really body beautiful guy. You know what I mean? I thought, big lad, but fucking.
And then
can't train
that's weigh-in day, but when fight day comes, it's
dude. It looked like he'd ate him. It was massive, and I was like, fucking hell, look at him. What is he? Bro, it's mad, and he punched like a bastard as well. And I was just like, fucking hell. But hey, it is what it is,
No, but listen, you're here to, that young lad, very quiet, very within himself, to going into that boxing gym and, your words, being on the dickhead bag, to them feeling part of something, learning the basics, and
then boxing some of the biggest names
boxing
in the country.
And listen, I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, it takes a lot just to go into a boxing gym. Never mind get in the ring.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And to do it on such a big platform and some, but like you said, like Sheffield Arena and stuff like that. But Wembley Arena, how did that come about?
So I'll tell you what. I'll talk about Sheffield really quickly, because what had happened was during lockdown, when you was allowed out for half an hour a day. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Right. So I just thought, I ain't going to the gym, fuck it, because it took me longer to get to the gym than would be half an hour and all that kind of shit. When you was getting stopped by the police, when they're stopping there, when you was driving, where were you going, all that kind of shit, right? So
was your half an hour exercise, was it all that bullshit?
Yeah, you remember that, right? It was then. So I remember sitting down specifically. I was eating a Domino's pizza, although other pizza places available.
Yeah.
But I was eating Domino's, right? And I get a phone call. You all right, Matt? I said, yeah, I'm Sam, my manager at the time. I'm like, you all right, dude? How are you? He says, yo, you know Isaac? I said, yeah, I do know Isaac. Yeah. He's fighting Saturday. I said, oh, yeah? I said, yeah. But his opponent was pulled out. Do you want in? Sat here eating a fucking Domino's pizza. Not really, mate. Fucking stupid fight, that, isn't it? Isaac. I'm a fan of Isaac. Even to this day,
Isaac
mate.
Chamberlain,
He's
yeah.
such a nice bloke. I'm seeing him in a couple of weeks. He's such a fucking nice bloke, mate. Generally, but he's class as well, though. He's the reason why he's one of the UK's best. There's a reason for it. So, and I'm not world ranked. Do you know what I mean? This guy's world ranked. And he said, do you want to fight him? And I'm like, dude, it's Tuesday. Means I've got 4 days notice to get ready for a fucking world beater. Behave yourself. Like, no, that's fucking stupid. We go back and forth. How much do you weigh? Don't matter how much I fucking weigh. I'm sat here eating pizza, like, whatever. And then that's when you start talking numbers.
That's what I was about to say.
The mad thing is, I never thought I could be brought.
To be bought, you mean?
I never thought I could be brought. My attitude was, no amount of money could make me do this, no amount of money could make me do that. But when money's put on the table
And lockdown, you're in lockdown.
You're locked down, fuck all's happening, you ain't working, you ain't doing nothing. And someone says,
X amount.
here you go. I need to get in the car and I'll see you tomorrow. Fuck. Because what you had to do, that was Tuesday.
There was not people in the arena because obviously you're locked down.
No one in the arena.
There's so many with the masks on and all
You
that.
had to be there, right? Wednesday, you had to have a COVID test, stay in your hotel, right?
In your own room.
In your own room, right? You had this little...
The test had to come back.
Yeah. Then on Thursday, you had a press conference, right?
What, with the mask on?
Then with the mask on. Then a Friday, you had the weigh-in, and then you fought on Saturday. So I'm like, well, how do I train then? Because it was Tuesday afternoon. Do you know what I mean? It's Tuesday afternoon, dude. Like, what the fuck? So anyway, I end up taking this fight like a dickhead. And I just thought to myself, my coach went mad. I'm with the McCrackens now, and they went mad. Because they don't operate like that. They're super professional. And I was like, look, no, you're taking a piss. But they came to support me, and I'm so grateful for that. Great guys. So now I'm in this unwinnable fight against Isaac Chamberlain. And I'm like, I'm not fit enough to do the rounds. Right?
Just go in there, try and take him
All
out.
I'm going to do, fuck boxing, right? I'm going to walk in, I'm going to crack him, I'm going to try and catch him cold. That's all I'm going to try and do.
That was your what's in your game
Because there's nothing else. If I get in there with someone like Isaac, who's fucking been training for the last 18 weeks or whatever, he's going to be nice and he's going to make me look like a right tit in there. Right, do what he wants and put me to sleep when he's ready to put me to sleep. Fuck that. I'm going to come out there, I'm going to put it all over you, shock you, where you think, shit. And it was working to start with because he backed up straight on the ropes and he was like, whoa. And then he caught me with a check hook.
Yes.
And all I needed was a few seconds just to... I'd not been hit for ages.
But then it was he followed straight in.
He fucking jumped on me, man, with these fucking uppercuts. And I was like, oh, bastard. And the ref jumped off. And I said to the ref, you're taking a piss. Like, I'm sound. Like, I'm not on the floor yet or nothing. Just let me go out my shield. But he wouldn't. And it really pissed me off. And it, you know, I was like, fucking, I was fuming, disappointed and angry with myself for taking a fight.
4 days notice.
Do you know what I mean? And I was like, and I was really, really angry. Really, really angry.
But it's that thing, no, Matt. You're in that, you know, like you say, COVID.
Yeah.
You like you say, you probably your head's all over like many people's heads was.
Yeah.
So you just gone, do you know what? Yeah, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, I'll do it, yeah.
And it's something that you probably do regret, but then at the time, it's needs must.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. And then I couldn't get a fucking fight, like, for ages then afterwards. I don't think I fought for 12 months maybe afterwards or something like that. I can't remember. It was ages, and I'm having this is corrupt fucking boxing. I remember speaking to a promoter who had a fighter based in Sheffield. I won't say his name. I'm not going to disrespect the lad. And his promoter said to me, "Are you coming here to beat him, or are you coming here to have a walk around?" What do you mean, have a fucking walk around? I'm putting him to sleep, getting back on the pedestal, and going back and getting what's mine. And he was like, Nah, we can't take the fight unless you come here and have a walk around with him. You get in there, make him look good, and just lose on points. Fuck off, I'm coming in there, I'm going to crack his face off, right? And I want to get back, because I want to get back to so many wins again, so I can go back to the board and say, get me that fucking title fight we were originally talking about. That's what I want to talk about. None of it happened. and he didn't take the fight, and I couldn't get a fucking fight. And then I think Errol, my new manager at the time, because I signed with somebody else, he'd said, I know you're talking about retiring because nothing's happening. Got this last hooray at Wembley, if you fancy it. Carlos Takam's show. So Carlos Takam was fighting Joe Joyce. It's against a dangerous fighter. Nobody wants to fight this kid. 2 weeks notice. Mad, innit? The money wasn't life-changing money, but it was decent. And he was like, don't have to do fuck all, just need to turn up and fight and go on. What better way to retire than at Wembley? Because it ain't never going to be Wembley again, is it?
And was it full as well? Like,
fuck your rammed, man. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Come on then. But you know, it was the hardest camp because I didn't want to be there, man. Every spar.
Has everything gone?
Yeah, everything. I remember I'd done more rounds with Ricky Summers than anybody else. Ricky Summers is a former English light heavyweight champion. Great guy. I've done loads of rounds with him. And he'd pick me. He must have given me a concussion or whatever. He picked my head off, man. My head was ringing for days afterwards. And I'm just like, everybody was sparring. You bring people in that I should be
able to contain and just deal with, not really be getting hit
pinged off. I'm getting pinged off. And then Ricky was my last spar. So I thought, get a few easy spars in with some people that I should be just walking all over.
Just working on a few bits and bobs that you want to...
And then bring Ricky in just to work on some stuff because Ricky is class.
Yeah.
So, fuck me. I thought Ricky was going to put me to sleep. Like, I generally thought, he's going to knock me out in a minute. Like, and I just thought, I don't want to fucking be here. I really, really don't. And, you know, then what happened at Wembley, and I'm just like, it's fucking mad. Yeah. But I knew it was over. I knew.
But you'd achieved something that so many people
hadn't.
That hadn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your story is like, you know, from the poverty that you grew up in, on the streets of Wolverhampton, to fighting at Wembley Arena, you know what I mean? It's a fucking mad story, you know what I mean? And something along the way. But do you know what I want to speak to you about as well, Matt? Is like, you know, you wrote the book Poverty to Wembley to speak to people who feel broken or forgotten. What's the main message?
So I believe that we all write a book, all of us, you, me and everybody else, we write a book. None of us in control of how that book starts, but we are in control of when we start to pick up that pen and start rewriting our own chapters of our story. That's where the power comes from. You know, I was talking a minute ago about how this story can relate to you and how you can relate to me, etc., etc. I want this story to be almost like an empowerment book for people to pick it up and say, fuck me, if you can, imagine how far I can go. Because I say openly, I ain't worth shit. There's nothing about me that's important, right? Fuck me, I can't even count, right? Do you know what I mean? I'm not important. Nothing special about me. Never has been, never will be. But I generally believe, I'm a man of faith now, and I believe everything happens for a reason. And I generally believe that I've had to walk this path so I can tell this story. So I'm going to tell this story so it gets as many ears as possible. And I want people to look at this and say, fucking hell, if you can, how far can I go? I'll start to pick up my pen. I didn't do it till I was 29, which is far too fucking long. Far too long, innit? But if there's a young lad out there who's 13, who's passively going through stuff, and he picks up his pen today, at the age of 13, imagine where he'll be by the time he's 15. Imagine where he'll be by the time he's 18. Imagine if there's somebody who's 60 years old and he thinks, you know what, when I was 18, I should have done this, but I'm too old now, I'm too old. You can change your life in a matter of months. So let's get him to pick up the pen and start rewriting what he's doing at the age of 60, yes. And then he can spend that message empowering his grandchildren or his children or whoever he knows to keep doing it. And I believe in a saying called each one teach one. Each one of us teaches another one of us to do better. It won't happen tomorrow, but in years to come, we'll have a thriving community.
No, but Matt, like what you're saying there is you're inspiring people. You know, what we just spoke about, you know, it's not a sob story, it's your story. And I think you're being a bit hard on yourself because, listen, you know, I'll be honest, I was getting a bit emotional, to be fair, because I could sort of relate to a lot of the things that you were talking about. And me and you having a conversation, people come across this and they go, listening to your story, you know, and seeing that no matter how hard life is, you're always you can make a change. No matter when you think that you can't get out of it, you know, the shitstorm that you're in and that. Yeah, and as a kid, that you think, you know, is this life? Is this fucking this shitty bit where I am? This shitty bit of life I've got now going on. This is where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And look what you're doing. You're going in. You go into a boxing gym. You know, you get knocked back at first. I'll prove you. You get knocked down, but you get back up again.
That's it.
You know, and you're just going for it, and you're fighting on, you know, big old shows. You're fighting at Wembley Arena. You know, as a young lad, you're probably thinking, you know, that's where you want to be. But you made your fucking dreams come true. You know what I mean?
What's mad is, you know, in terms of Wembley, I'd never even been to Wembley as a guest, and I performed there live. Do you know, in front of fucking hundreds of thousands and maybe millions across the world. It's wild, and it is. And you know, I wasn't the best boxer in the world. I never claimed to be. I wasn't a world champion. I wasn't a, you know, there's probably, well, there is much better boxers. No, there will be much better boxers to follow. But Poverty to Wembley isn't a boxing story. It's an empowerment book. It's an empowerment book for people to read and say, I can and I will.
And I think that's the message that, you know, what we've just been speaking about. And we've only touched the surface on a couple of things and stuff. But if people want to buy the book or whatever, how can they access to buy it?
So it's going to be out next year. The rest of it's with my PR team, so they'll sort out where it's going to go, what it's going to look like, and all that kind of stuff. So they will take control of all of the business side. The business side, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that to them. But they're really good people, great people. So next year now. In the meantime, now, what I am going to be doing is we're going to be doing a national tour. But it's going to be a national school tour to secondary schools. We put a mini version of the book together called Struggle to Succeed. It's a 45-minute talk with a 15 minutes questions and answer session. And we've probably visited the best part of 150 schools already delivering this talk. And the feedback has just been crazy. I did this just because I wanted to help young people and just...
There could be someone in that assembly or in that assembly hall who can sort of relate to your story. Do you know what I mean?
I've had people in tears. I've had people hold me back and say, "Oh, Matt, can I have a chat with you, please?" Yeah, please. How did you do this? Because I'm going through this, and I'm like, shit. Okay, like it's, you know, teachers have come back and have said to me, "Yo, I've always wanted to do this because of what you've just said. I'm gonna go and fucking do that now." And it's like, wow.
Does that make you feel? What's that make you feel like?
It makes you think, fucking, wow. Like it's honestly, it's mad. So as a part of this book launch, we're doing a national tour. So what that's going to look like is it starts in September. September's going to be East and West Midlands. We'll visit as many schools as we can in the week throughout East and West Midlands. We've partnered up with a company called the Careers and Enterprise, who are part of the local authorities, not all the schools and that. Careers and Enterprise. It's a lady called Emma Lopez, who's leading that on my behalf, and she's absolutely incredible. What a brilliant woman she is. So she's leading all of that at the moment. So September will be East and West Midlands. Then we'll have October will be Manchester, Liverpool, and Yorkshire. Then November will be London, Essex, Kent, and Surrey, and then December will be north of England, like Newcastle, Sunderland, and all that stuff, and then Scotland and Wales.
So if you know, like anybody who comes across this who's involved within like the local councils or within the schools, how can they contact you or? You know, to obviously...
Best thing to do, get me on social media, my Instagram.
What's your handles in
that? It's official Matt Sen. Everything I've got is official Matt Sen.
And so they can reach out to you there to try and get you booked in. Because I think your story, Matt, is so relatable.
Thank you.
And what we were saying is no kids should go through... Look, we're in 2025.
Yeah.
No kids should go through poverty. And it's sad that, you know, us growing up and stuff like that, and not just me and you, there's many other kids that have probably struggled who went through, you know, but they probably didn't want to admit it or they didn't want to speak out because they probably feel embarrassed. but it shouldn't be going on today.
Yeah.
And there's always, no matter how hard it is, it'll always get better.
Yeah.
I always say this all the time, and it's on our cups and that we have: strong walls shake but never collapse.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a quote that's always stayed with us, and it's been one of them. But I think it's absolutely brilliant that you're offering that, going into schools, because it starts with the kids.
Yeah.
It starts with the kids of today.
They're tomorrow's adult.
Of course they are.
Do you know what I mean? So
They're
we
the
can get that
future,
right.
aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
We can get that right. We can move things forward, and I hope more people reach out. Like I said, that I talk about the circles. Those circles are so important for me. I think for individuals as we get older.
Yeah.
Again, we still have 3 circles, but they change slightly. We have, and this is just again my belief. 3 circles for adults will then be your immediate family, your wife, your children, that kind of stuff. Then your second one being your extended family, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, whatever. And then the third one being a wider community. Now, the vast majority of us live within the first 2. We will support our family network.
Yeah.
The first 2 circles. Very few of us are willing to reach out to the third. Very few of us, unless it's going to benefit us. I don't want to be that guy who's always looking for payment on this or looking for that, or I will help you on the basis it can benefit me. I'm not interested in that. What I want to try and do is help people for the sake of helping them, so they can empower other people or move forward for themselves.
Inspiring people, mate.
That's what it's all about.
This is what it's about. Matt, what's in the pipeline? Obviously, you've got your big tour and stuff like that. What other bits and bobs have you got going on?
Well, I'm putting loads of work into the book launch. The book went to print today, which is really, really exciting. I would have loved to turn up and give you, oh man. Yeah. But but it went to print today. So once that's done, I'll gift you one.
Oh, right, that'll be brilliant.
Yeah, so I'll do that for you. So once I get that, but there's loads of stuff that we do. We've got some celeb collaborations. We've got some celeb giveaways. We've got our national tour, loads of podcasts and interviews and stuff.
Listen, getting out there, networking, getting out on socials, people recognising you, and it's recognising you because it's the change that you're trying to make, and what you're trying to do, and I think it's absolutely brilliant, mate. It really do.
Well, I say this openly, and I'll say it to your camera, whichever one's this one here, right? Okay. So I need your help, everybody's help. I need your help. I can't do it alone. So I need people to raise the profile or help raise the profile for this message. This message is to empower everybody, the reader or the person who hears this, to want to do better, to become better. We all write a book. None of us are in control of how that book starts, but we are in control when we pick up that pen. So will you help me get this message out so other people can start picking up the pen and start rewriting their chapters of their life for the better?
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. It was a powerful episode, and Matt, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing the good, the bad and the ugly, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.